Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin in a few minutes. Meanwhile, do take your seat and ensure that you have your cup of coffee or even a bowl of popcorn ready for our wise session tonight. A little bit of a ground rule for the speakers. If your speech does not adhere to the rules and regulations stated before, the organizer has the right to assist you down the stage. Thank you. Assalamualaikum and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our very first episode of Wisdom Wednesday. The stage is your 2022. This series is brought to you by English Cultural Society, ECLIPSE. My name is Muhammad Shafiq bin Sazali, your fabulous and most handsome MC for tonight. I'm an LG 243 student and in my second semester. Honored to be here, and let's start. Now, before we go straight to the stage that we have prepared for our speakers today, I would like to tell you about the background of the series we are having today. The keyword is wisdom. In this series, we aim to provide a platform for UiTM students to spread wisdom and speak their heart out. There will be 3 episodes of this series, and each of them will have their own twist. The speaker may speak in any language they would like to. It could be in English, Mandarin, French, or even Korean. Fret not, we will provide the translation for their speech. For these very events, there might be a news perspective, might be a rant out of frustration, might be a real global issue. So are you guys ready? Can I see some thumbs up in the comment section below? For this very episode, the twist will be around the topic of environment. Talking about the environment, there's an English song that popped up on top of my mind that goes, "In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight." Whew, literal chills. Anyone fan of Madagascar? Anyway, keep up the energy as for now we'll continue our session. Last but not least, we will be giving the feedback form at the end of this event. Do fill it out as you will be getting a certificate of participation. Before we start, we would like to welcome Adlan Danish Bendaris to recite some dua so that we could start our night with blessings. The floor's yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Allahumma innaka khalaqul azim, innaka samiul alim, innaka ghafurur rahim, innaka rabbul arsyil azim, innaka barrul jawadul karim. Ya Allah, Engkaulah yang mempunyai segala kepujian. Engkaulah yang berhak menerima segala kepujian. Engkaulah yang berhak menerima segala kesyukuran. Engkaulah yang memiliki segala pemerintahan. Di tangan Engkau segala kebajikan, kepada Engkaulah kembali segala urusan. Allahumma ya karimu ya rahim. Ya Allah ya Tuhan kami, cucurilah rahmat dan rahimmu ke atas majlis Wisdom Wednesday, the stage is yours, yang diadakan pada hari ini. Berkatilah ia dari awal hingga akhirnya. Kami juga memohon perlindungan daripadamu, daripada segala perkara yang boleh mencacat celakan majlis kami, dan daripada segala perkara yang melalaikan kami, dari berbuat taat kepadamu. Kepadamu jua kami serah segala urusan kami. Rabbana alaika tawakkalna, wa ilaika abdana, wa ilaikal masir. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah, wa fil akhirati hasanah, wa qina azabannar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Amin, amin, ya rabbal alamin. Thank you, Adlan. Next, we would like to invite the most handsome, if not the most handsome person, welcoming the advisor of ECLIPSE, Mr. Zakaria Aydin Drakman. The stage is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, our MC for today. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yang berbahagia, yang berusaha, dear fellow lecturers, students, and of course, fellow audience currently watching at our YouTube channel. First and foremost, Alhamdulillah, we are blessed to gather here tonight for this intellectual event. Wisdom Wednesday, the stage is yours, is being held for the first time at UiTM Shah Alam. Congratulations to all the crews who worked tirelessly to bring this event to fruition on this amazing night. Thank you to the Wisdom Wednesday team for giving me the opportunity to officiate this great event for all of our students. So, what do you think Wisdom Wednesday is all about? Well, the purpose for this event is, number one, to encourage more UiTM students to be brave in expressing their thoughts and opinions on a variety of topics using a good platform. Number two, to demonstrate that, contrary to popular belief, our students are not solely concerned with academic matters. Our respectful UiTM students are always aware of what is going on around them, whether in or out of the country. Number three, to let the audiences listen and understand all of the viewpoints expressed on the topics being addressed until they have a better knowledge and acceptance of them. And lastly, for students, soft skills and public knowledge, I think, should be enhanced and polished. So UiTM will always support this kind of program tonight, as it is very beneficial to all parties. I'm hoping that this program will not run out of steam here and that it will be rejuvenated in the future. Since we are living in an endemic era, I guess, we have no choice but to implement this event virtually as other programs do. Hopefully, who knows, maybe in the future, we might see each other face to face, inshallah. We expect that the next session of Wisdom Wednesday, all right, will be conducted on our campus in Shah Alam, maybe in a more pleasant environment. Thank you very much to all the teams who participated in this event. Congratulations for making this happen, despite the fact that it is a month of Ramadan. May the contributions of our speakers be valuable to those who are here, all right? And best of luck to our first 5 speakers. We have representatives from Academy Pengajian Bahasa, from LG 4.0, LG 240, LG 243, and also a representative from the Faculty of Science Gunaan. And with that, I would like to formally officiate this event. Salam Ramadan Kareem to everyone. And I guess the stage is yours.
Thank you to our amazing advisor, Mr. Zach. Now, are you guys still with the same energy we had earlier? Please do so, as we would like to welcome our very first speakers for our very first episode of Wisdom Wednesday, who will be talking about Tabby, to pet or not to pet. This is not a question. Welcoming Mr. Ahmad Syamil bin Aman from Academy Pengajian Bahasa. The stage is yours.
Yes, Assalamualaikum. I will be sharing something. Can I share screen?
Yes. Few moments. Hold on, just a few minutes. You can try to share now. Is the screen sharing is all right?
So can you see both me and the slides? Fortunately, we have some difficulties with my laptop, but I hope you all can see this one. Can you see the slide?
Okay, the stage is yours.
So, as the title says, Tabby tabby, to pet or not to pet, that's not even a question. First, let's relate this thing to environment and in term nature. Nature is referred to several conflicting meanings that are recorded together in European dictionary, some of which are the entirety of physical reality, or the entire universe as in the place, the cause and effect of physical phenomena, or the unique force that drives life and change, or the essence, inner characters, and personality of a person. Well, I assume this one will be for the second one, as I will be talking about animal, but not just any animal. One that are universally awed by the mass. These four-legged mammals possess everything that a furry apex predator would have. Keen eyes to spot its prey, spring-loaded leg for instant acceleration, sharp claws to climb and catch its prey, and decent biting power. Well, this animal are Felis catus, aka cats, domesticated cats to be precise. The only species that were domesticated by themselves, like literally. But then when they were the predator of the wild, as can be seen from their cousins within the feline subfamily, the lynx and Scottish wildcats among them. But when it comes to genus, Felis is the smaller half of feline, which include cats as in house cats. There's plenty full of breed when it comes to Felis catus, and a wide range of subgroups categorizing this furry companion into distinguishable traits. And these distinguishable traits happens to be patterns of coat they possess. For example, tabby, bicolor, calico, and tortoiseshell. Now let's take a look at bicolor. Bicolor cat is basically cat with two prominent colors pattern, commonly found in black and white or orange and white, with patterns like cow, tuxedo, musk and mantle, and magpie. Calico is a tricolor pattern in general, mostly thought to possess the combination of black, white, and orange. Altogether, some dilution in coloration would turn the black to gray and orange to pastel orange. Tortoiseshell are cats with coat coloring that looks like tortoiseshell material, with larger patches of colors contradicting the dark black fur and smaller patches spread throughout the body. Now, on the side note, this is going to be a bit sad. Cats with this pattern saw the least adoption rate due to being not so beautiful, which is the complete nonsense, I would say. Now, to the main event. Let's move to the most common group of cats. Tabby or tabbies. So tabby cats can be identified from the M pattern found in the forehead. Yes, an M on the forehead, and you know it is a tabby. Tabby can also come in different color and coat patterns. The classic stripes, the macro stripes, spotted, thick, and patch. Now, the classic tabby has pores that are really clear, like the one can be found on a tiger. You see, the lines are pretty prominent and we can see it really clearly. For macro stripes, usually possess a ring tail and leg and either solid or broken bands of stripes for the rest of its body. Well, this is my beloved Ipang, 3 years old, and you can see in his leg and his tail and his leg, and the most right corner photos, you can see the ring tail over there, and he have the broken band of stripes. And now we have spotted, which is usually consists bands of spots instead of stripes, and similarly looking to mackerel, except their ringtails and ringlets are mostly not connected like a ring. Thick tabby doesn't have stripes or spots for its coat, but maybe its leg with slightly darker or lighter colors to the rest of its body. This is Mausa, my sister's beloved cat. Rest in peace. Next, we have Patch. Patch tabby would have patterns similar to tortoiseshell. Yes, very similar. In fact, tortoiseshell can be a tabby, and this one is Mia, also cats of a friend. So again, tortoiseshell can be a tabby. Abyssinian can be a tabby. A Mancoon can be a tabby. An American Coast can be a tabby. An Oyen can be a tabby. And this is Oyen, by the way. So all they need to have is the M marking on their head. And if you find that M marking, there you go, a tabby. So the question is, to pet or not to pet? It is really up to you because, some people are afraid. I mean, you know what I mean. But now, if you see any stray cats around and you might be able to do something with it right now by classifying them into this type of groups, pattern of coats. And if you're seeing M on their foreheads, squeeze them hard because they are tabbies and they are so cute. Maybe pet them a little, but no one will blame you if you squeeze them because they are madly cute and cuddly. But remember one thing, pet at your own risk. That's all. Thank you.
Show some love to Mr. Ahmad Shamil, everybody, as that was a very interesting way to look at tabbies or cats. I will now start to pet every cat I see after this. They are definitely cute. But we won't stop here. Let's continue with another speakers welcoming our second speaker of tonight, talking about deforestation. Why is it a problem? Miss Putri Balkis binti Kamal from Academy Pengajian Bahasa. The stage is yours.
Hi, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Loud and
okay,
clear.
I'm start. All right. Assalamualaikum. Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, my beautiful people of the world. So my name is Putri Balkis binti Kamal, but I go by Balkis Kamal for short. I am one of the semester 5 students of English Intercultural Communication, or EIC program for short. If you're wondering, I'm at my house currently in Malacca because I didn't allow to go back to college. And if you're wondering for my age, don't, because there's a saying that goes like, don't ask your lady her age because it's considered disrespectful, right? Just joking. All right, I am someone who loves nature and animals so much to the point that I would do everything for them. So the topic that I'm going to talk about today is very sensitive to me, deforestation. Now, I'm sure a lot of you here are familiar with this term, but deforestation, in my understanding, is basically just simply cutting down trees, clearing the green covers of the world to make more available land for industrial, residential, or commercial purposes. Now, there are some people say that this is actually an alternative to find more available land for these purposes. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with finding an alternative to make more available land for these and other purposes. But it is very wrong when you start to cut down trees, because if you don't know yet, forests, they are the world's carbon dioxide sinks, and they are our most important source of oxygen. Now, before I continue any further, I would like to share with you briefly how deforestation actually starts. It's kind of like history kind of thing. I know a lot of you guys don't really like history, but let me just share with you, just bear with me this time, okay? So deforestation actually starts about 2,000 years ago back in Western Europe. So 80% of that area was covered with forest, but when deforestation happened, only 34% of that land was still covered in forest up until this day. In North America, it's a different story. In the eastern part, there's like a lot of forest there, but deforestation occurs. Trees were being cut down from the year 1600 to 1870s for timber and agriculture purposes. Now, that is the case for North America and Europe. Moving on to China. China, to me, is always beautiful because it is covered with forests. Every single thing of China is basically just nature and green. But to my surprise, deforestation actually starts in China 4,000 years ago. Long time ago. It's crazy. So now in China, only 20% of that country is still covered with forests. Let's talk about country Malaysia. Surprisingly, we have lost 2.7 million hectares of our humid primary forest between the year 2002 to 2020, right? That is the basic history of deforestation. Now, let me move on to why deforestation is a problem. Okay, so first of all, when deforestation occurs, it will actually result in more release of carbon dioxide. So we, the humans, we don't need carbon dioxide, but we really need oxygen. We need oxygen to live. Our lives depends on it. Tree, on the other hand, forests, they need carbon dioxide to do photosynthesis, right? So during this process, photosynthesis so-called, the carbon dioxide will store chemically in the tree's wood and it will not be released at all. But when deforestation occurs, people cut down trees. Not enough with cutting down trees, they burned the trees, the forest. What happened next is the carbon dioxide that is once safe in the chemically stored in the tree's wood, it will now release back in the atmosphere. And this carbon dioxide that is released back in the atmosphere, it will actually accumulate the greenhouse gas. And to your surprise, it will accelerate the global warming. Yes, we are in this situation right now. Everyone keeps complaining, it's hot every single day. Not gonna lie, me too. And we are not aware of the fact that trees are being cut. No action is taken. That's why the world keeps getting hotter and hotter every single day. Next, the deforestation actually also threatens the world's biodiversity. So forests are actually the home to an amazing number of animals and plant species. So forest to me, it's like the paradise to these animal and plant species. So when deforestation occurs, hear me out, okay? Some people call animals and plant species flora and fauna, right? These species will be driven into extinction. Okay, and when forests are being burned down, the trees are lodged, these animals, plant species, they will be driven into extinction because some scientists have also said that we are in the midst of a mass extinction chapter. It is no surprise because you see, we have lost a lot of forests right now in this world. And the remaining forests, the remaining trees will not have a law. The trees that we have right now, it will leave the soil prone to erosion, which, because it will leave the soil to erosion. And then the remaining plants that we still have in the world right now will be vulnerable to the fire because the forests once are very moist and close, but now it is open and it is dry. So fire will start, trees will be burned, and animal will go to extinction. Sadly, but that is the sad truth. Right, listen. Now this is why I think that we should stop deforestation. Listen, deforestation can be permanent if no action is taken. But we can still save our forests with extra efforts. In Malaysia, the National Forestry Policy was actually enacted in 1978, which gazetted almost 14.1 million hectares of permanent forest reserve, including national park. If I'm not mistaken, the national park was actually enacted in 1939. Now, to add on, the government of Malaysia has also conducted educational, environmental through campaigns, through symposia, exhibitions, seminars, dialogues, and other advertisement on television and also social media. Okay, last but not least, I would call everyone to, like, it is not just mine, but every responsibility of the human being living on this world to stop deforestation immediately. Because if it's not being stopped immediately, it will lead to crazy problems like flooding, global warming, and a lot of other world problems. And most importantly, we have to prevent deforestation immediately to prevent animal extinction and habitat loss. It all started with us. Just one move, everyone. Only one single move to stop this and taking care of our forests. I beg you. This is for the future benefit of our own community. That is all from me. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good night, everyone.
Wow, thank you so much, Miss Balkis. That was a very noteworthy idea. Absolutely agree to have more green colors, aka more trees. I think we kind of take them for granted because we do not see the oxygen getting inhaled into ourselves. This has opened my eyes totally. Okay, let's keep the ball rolling as the events would like to invite our third speaker of tonight. The topic is PET, Adopt, Don't Shop. Welcome, Miss Nur Shakirah Nadilah binti Zubaidi from Akademik Pengajian Bahasa. The stage is yours. Sorry guys, we are currently facing some technical difficulties on our end. Please give us some time, but we will continue with our next speaker for tonight, which is we'll continue with our last speaker, which is the fourth speaker of tonight. His topic will be microplastic. Is it safe or harmful to humankind? Welcome, Mr. Shafiq Izmir bin Sulaimi from Faculty Science Gunaan. The stage is yours.
All right, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. A very good evening to everyone. My name is Shafiq Izmir bin Sulaimi from Faculty of Applied Science, AS 244 Biomolecular Science. And today, I would like to talk about microplastic. Is it a safe or harm to humankind? From various research that has been made in many articles, microplastics are small pieces of plastic that are less than 5 millimeter or 0.2 inch in length. This is usually occurred in the environment as a consequence of plastic pollution. Microplastics are present in many types of products that include from cosmetic to synthetic clothing to plastic bags and bottles. Not just that, what worries us sometimes that many of these products readily enter the environment in waste. Unfortunately, the problem with microplastics is that they do not readily break down into harmless molecules. This is because plastic can take up to hundreds or even thousands of years to decompose. Furthermore, on beaches, microplastics are visible as tiny multicolored plastic bits in sand. It does not stop there. Even in the oceans, microplastic pollution is often consumed by marine animals. Enough with the introduction. Let's get into the topic of our discussion tonight, which is it safe or a harm to humankind when facing with microplastics in the environment? To start off, let's just say that this microplastic comes in two groups, which is the primary microplastics and the secondary microplastics. Primary microplastics are directly designed for commercial purposes. On the other hand, secondary microplastics that are formed as large and original plastics that breaks down into millions of smaller pieces. These microplastics can cause damage to human cells, which in the laboratory levels had known that these microplastics were eaten by people via their food. This study had been found in one of the articles that has been published. If you look deeper in depth, the harm includes the cell death and allergic reactions, and this research is the first to show that it had happened at levels relevant to human exposure. However, the health impact to the human body is uncertain because it is not known how long microplastics will remain in the body before being excreted. Microplastics pollution has contaminated the entire planet. Imagine from the summit of Mount Everest to the deepest oceans, microplastics has invaded. People were already known to consume the tiny particles via food and water, as well as breathing them in. This can be shown in the research that analyzed 17 previous studies, which look at the toxicological impacts of microplastics on human cell line. The scientists compared the level of microplastics at which damage was caused to the cell with the levels consumed by people through contaminated drinking water, seafood, and table salt. From the research that had been made, the studies come to a conclusion which they found specific types of harm, such as cell death, allergic response, and damage to the cell walls. After hearing about the research we had discussed, I think we can come to a conclusion about our topic for today, which is about the microplastics. As for conclusion, the scientists are still unsure whether consumed microplastics are harmful to the human or animal kind till this day. Even so, what specific danger that may pose to one kind is that many countries are taking action to reduce microplastics in the environment. If we look based on the United Nations 2017 resolution, they discuss about microplastics and the need for regulations to reduce the hazard present to the oceans, wildlife, and human health. That is all from me. Thank you.
Oh my, round of applause for our third speaker of tonight, Mr. Shafiq. Let us save those marine animals. They are cute and beautiful. Let not also forget the fact that we too consume microplastic because of the pollution. Whoa, that is an eye-opening, Mr. Shafiq Ismail. Okay, let's keep the ball rolling as the event would like to invite our last speaker of tonight. The topic is pet. Adopt, don't shop. Welcome, Miss Nur Syakirah Nadilah binti Zubaidi from Akademik Pengajian Bahasa. The stage is yours.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so my name is Nur Syakirah Nadilah binti Zubaidi. So people call me Shakirah or Shark for short. Now, let me make it clear, I'm not the fish. As you can see, I'm human. So I'm a Part 3 student from the program English for Professional Communication, LG240. Now, my topic today is adopt, don't shop. Pretty straightforward, I must say. Now, I actually have a question to be asked to the audience here today. Do you know what are the benefits of adopting our cute and cuddly fuzzy friends? You would be glad to know that both parties, humans and animals, were before. Some are abandoned and some actually had to fend themselves on the streets. Now, searching for food is not easy. Some people are nice enough to leave food. Some would actually just abuse them. Some would kick them here, kick them there. You've seen a lot of YouTube videos where some cats or dogs get cut off just because they try to take some food from shops, so on and so forth. Isn't that sad to see? Now, what do these things have to do with saving their life? Now, the thing about animals and humans, one thing for sure that I can say is both of us have trust. Now, gaining trust from animals are almost the same as humans. For us humans, it takes time to gain trust from the other person, as the same concept practically applies to animals too, especially those that have been abandoned or hurt in their previous homes or living situation. Now, adopting them is the first step of showing them that they are worthy of love. This way, they would feel loved again and they can be happy and healthy again. Who doesn't love a healthy and fat cat, don't you think? Now, the second reason would be that you won't be supporting backyard breeders. Now, for those who don't know what backyard breeders are, they are breeders who are very unethical. Now, backyard breeders actually breed these animals by force. Now, these, for example, dogs or cats are forced to breed as often as possible and kept under a cruel conditions in puppy farm or any farm in general. Now, by adopting, you are avoiding these organizations and supporting animal welfare in the process. Forcing these animals to breed is a cruel act. Now, just imagine if you were in their place, because we also get pregnant and, you know, so what would it feel for a cat or a dog, that really cute, tiny, fuzzy animal, to be forced to breed as often? You know how breeding and giving birth is very painful. How would that tiny body act to so much pain? Isn't it sad to see? So, like, again, do adopt our cuddly fuzzy friends. Now, the third thing would be that you will help with preventing overpopulation. Now, adopting a pet rather than going to a shop or a breeder for a specific type of pet, you are caring for an animal that already needs support rather than bringing another one to the world. It can ensure that all animals are able to receive the care they deserve. Now, caring for those animals that already need support is much more important, in my view, than bringing another animal or another baby just to give attention to that one when the ones that already are there are practically neglected. Other than that, you also get a lifetime support from the shelter employees. Now, no one knows more about the dogs or cats you are adopting than the people working at the shelter each day, providing care and support for them. They will be able to assist you with the move and help you carry on any training or behavior work. Less issues will come to light as they would already have a fond relationship with the animals at the shelter, thus ensuring that they will get a good treatment from the people there. We never know what happened behind closed doors. Some actually still get abused by being locked in a cage, just not giving food, so on and so forth. Now just imagine, they are helpless animals. They can't speak, so we need to speak up for them. Don't you think? Now, the last reason would be you will be supporting a valuable community and charitable institution. It's always good to show support and help our local organization. And these shelters are providing a valuable service to the dogs and cats in their care. So by adopting one, you're also contributing to the ongoing care of the animals left at the shelter. Now, when one animal is taken away from the shelter or you adopt it, another one comes in. There's always a lot of animals out there that needs care, and they are practically neglected by the streets, so on and so forth. Being sick, not getting food, that's really sad to think. Now, don't you think? Now, last but not least, humans and animals both will benefit from this. Like I said, now humans will get a companion. Everyone loves companion. Nobody likes to be alone now. Am I right? So, and the animals will also get a companion and love. Animals also help with your mental health. So practically it's a win-win situation, is it not? So that would be all from me. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum.
With that being said, everybody, the final speaker of tonight, what an insight, huh? Trust, that is a new way to look at our relationship with the animals. Trust and love, the basic of a connection. Interesting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we arrive at the end of the session for tonight. Thank you so much, Mr. Shamel, Ms. Malkis, Ms. Shakira, Ms. Shafiq. Thank you and thank you and thank you. I hope that what our speakers conveyed had made an impact on you guys. With that being said, let's meet again in the next episode on 27th of April and hear new opinions on social issues. Before we end this session, I would like to remind you guys to fill in the attendance forms in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We will end today's episode with UiTM di Hatiku. Thank you. See you again in the next one.
you.